Yes, in 1962, the CIA used LSD in hopes of creating superhumans. Now, before I tackle the experiment, I need to tackle the RAND Corporation. Now, the RAND Corporation, titled by the media, is an individual think tank contract corporation. But if we go to the CIA's website, mind you, a .gov website, we can find newspaper articles in which it is confirmed that the RAND Corporation, 80% or more of its work is done for either the Department of Defense, the FBI, or the CIA. Now, what does this mean? It means that the government is paying the RAND Corporation, funding the RAND Corporation to do their work. You know, like rich people, they pay bank accounts in Venezuela and Africa to get rid of taxes. So really they don't have any money to tax. It's just the same thing here. The CIA is setting up a front with the RAND Corporation. That way they can't get in legal trouble doing stuff that they're not supposed to. It's just a private contractor called the RAND Corporation. So now that we have concluded that the RAND Corporation is a front for the CIA, only mentioned by the CIA themselves, mind you, from a .gov website, we have concluded this. We can now get into the experiment. Now, this experiment was in 1962, mind you, and it was based off a prior experiment with LSD. Obviously, the experiment was the long-term effects of LSD. Now, what the prior experiment would do was, it was a half-a-year experiment with the, immediately after the subjects were exposed to LSD, they would be asked how they felt about their experience. Either it was the best thing they've ever done, it was a life-changing experience, they either really hated it, it opened them to more possible ideas, enlightenment, it changed them ethically or morally, or it caused them severe mental harm. And then after the 6-month period, it would go into their own life. And then it would ask, obviously, has your life changed in a major way? So a career change, either a divorce, or you have gained an absorbent amount of money. And then it would go down in decreasing order on how much your life really changed, all the way down to it negatively affected your life. So obviously, they would administer the LSD to the patients, your control group, all that good stuff. And then afterwards, they would find that the majority of people said that the LSD was one of the best things ever done with their life. They would do the LSD again. A few people said that the LSD was, changed them ethically or morally. They really enlightened them up. But most of them said that they enjoyed the LSD and that they would do it again. And very few of them said that the LSD was bad or that it had negative consequences on them. Really what this shows us is that either they picked a bunch of druggies, which I highly doubt it, or that, LSD, it's just a drug, so obviously you're going to enjoy it. But mind you, when they were doing this, they already picked people that had high attributes that they were looking for. They were looking for high insight, high emotional intelligence, and other increased attributes that the normal person wouldn't particularly have. And obviously, when they're doing this, the successful in life, they're looking at, do these attributes increase? Did your insight increase? Did your emotional intelligence increase, to ultimately leading you to be a more successful person, aka enhanced by drugs, superhuman, some people might call it. And what the CIA found was that probably about 40% of your population that got administered LSD recorded a major change in their life. So just under half of the population that was administered LSD reported that they had a major, either positive change, so either a divorce, a job change, or an absorbent amount of money. And then obviously, most of the people were on the positive side. Not a lot of people said that the LSD negatively affected their life. So did the CIA create superhumans with LSD? No, they did not. They just had people get extraordinarily either close to death or one of the wildest drugs that we have known, which is LSD. And probably it was a life-changing experience. Many people think about really what they're doing with their life. If they get transported to this another dimension, which some people say LSD does, then obviously they would probably rethink their life. And honestly, if your control group is anything under, or if your population is anything under 50% of successful, then I would say you're not successful in doing what you wanted to do. With that being said, we have proved in this video that the CIA does a bunch of crazy stuff. For one, MK Ultra, not only, but also experimenting with LSD. That's some wild stuff, especially if you're looking for long-term impacts and you don't know if it's going to be negative or positive. You're just getting random people out on the street to agree to this, the government, mind you. So obviously that's not good stuff, but also they failed in trying to create superhumans. So with that being said, when you think that the government wouldn't do that, just remember, they use LSD to try to create superhumans from random people off the street. With that being said, don't trust the government. They don't have your best interest in mind. They're just trying to use LSD to create you into a Homelander, pretty much. With that being said, stay safe and stay hydrated.